Some weeks ago I put in a Freedom of Information request to South Wales Police following the guilty verdict of one Inspector Dean Gittoes, the cretin who assaulted Auditing Wales. If you haven't seen that video, it's linked in the description as part of a previous report, but here's a short reminder.
Because I'm allowed.
I know you're allowed, but I'm asking you why.
You an inspector, no?
No mind who I am. I'm asking you who you are. What's going on?
I'm filming.
I know, but we've had a few people filming up here and we're getting a bit tired of it. What's your name?
Why?
Because I just asked you, so I suspect you as being a terrorist. I'll ask you again, what's your name?
You suspect me of being a terrorist? The NPCC.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm filming.
Okay, you're arrested for terrorism.
No.
Come on in, come on.
Hey, but...
No, I've asked you tightly.
Well, I have now had a response. I'll read to you what my request was and then I'll go on to the reply. Following an appearance at Newport Magistrates Court, Inspector Dean Gittoes was found guilty of assault. I am now inquiring as to Mr Gittoes' disciplinary record to ask if you can supply the number of complaints Inspector Dean Gittoes has received whilst in the employ of South Wales Police and also the reason for the complaint. I am asking for no identifiable information, simply the number of complaints, the complaint reason, for example assault, theft, etc., and the outcome of complaints made against Inspector Dean Gittoes. Yours sincerely. So I'm not asking for anything that would identify him or identify information, not asking for anything that would be confidential, say as it might be being used in a current investigation, and information that many national newspapers are able to receive without issue, no doubt due to their relationship with the forces themselves. Well, their response came back to me on Sunday, of all days, which is odd, because Freedom of Information wait time doesn't include weekends. So I take it from that the FOI departments don't work weekends, but okay. Now South Wales Police have told me in their reply in no uncertain terms to basically go fuck myself. Their response said, South Wales Police can neither confirm nor deny that it holds the information you have requested. In this case, the duty to confirm or deny under Section 1(1)(a) does not apply by virtue of the following exemptions. Section 30(3) Investigations, Section 31(3) Law Enforcement, Section 40(5) Personal Information. Section 30 is a class-based qualified exemption and consideration of the public interest must be given as to whether neither confirming nor denying the information exists is the appropriate response. Section 31 is a prejudice-based qualified exemption and any prejudice, harm that confirming or denying information is held would cause must be articulated as well as the public interest considerations. Section 40 is a class-based absolute exemption and there is no requirement to evidence harm or consider the public interest test. Evidence of harm. The College of Policing authorised professional practice for information management is a national standard adhered to by all police officers across England and Wales. Police information refers to all information obtained, recorded or processed for a policing purpose and includes information which is processed, known as data, including personal data, and information which has been subject to a process of evaluation, known as intelligence. It is a business process with an intention to provide focus to operational policing and to achieve a disproportionately greater impact from the resources applied to any problem. It is dependent on a clear framework of analysis of information and intelligence, allowing a problem-solving approach to law enforcement and crime prevention techniques. Yes, there's a lot of word salad. To confirm information is held by citing a substantive exemption or conversely stating no information held would undermine the effective delivery of operational law enforcement by compromising any misconduct proceedings that may or may not be ongoing. In this case, to confirm or deny that information is held would risk undermining the disciplinary process whilst determining whether any member of staff is responsible for improper conduct, including whether or not a named individual is subject to such proceedings. Section 31. Factors favouring complying with Section 1(1)(a). Confirming or denying information is held. Disclosure would provide transparency in the way police officers and staff members are dealt with when suspected of misconduct offences and may improve public debate into the credibility of how South Wales Police deals with disciplinary allegations within the force. It would also serve to demonstrate that South Wales Police are open and accountable. Factors favouring non-complying with Section 1(1)(a), confirming or denying information is held. There is an inherently strong public interest in public authorities carrying out investigations to prevent and detect crime. South Wales Police need to be allowed to investigate crime effectively and ensure that offenders are brought to justice. To confirm or deny that any information is held could compromise law enforcement tactics around organised criminality, which would hinder the South Wales Police's ability to prevent and detect criminality in this area. Where current or future law enforcement capabilities of the force may be compromised by the release of information, it is unlikely to be in the interest of the public. Balancing test. South Wales Police will not divulge whether any information is or is not held, if to do so would undermine law enforcement and therefore compromise the work of the police service. Whilst there is a public interest in the transparency of policing and how investigations are conducted, there is a very strong public interest in safeguarding the integrity of law enforcement methods in this very sensitive area. The strongest reason to confirm or deny whether any information is held is that it is recognised that there is a genuine public interest in information relating to any investigations conducted by South Wales Police. The strongest reasons against confirmation or denial of any information being held is to ensure that policing and security measures are not rendered less effective through disclosure, therefore hindering the effective delivery of operational law enforcement. Don't worry, I'm falling asleep just reading it. Therefore, for these issues, the balancing test for confirming or denying whether we hold any information is not made out. Section 30(3) Investigation. Factors favouring complying with Section 1(1)(a), confirming or denying whether information exists relevant to this request, would lead to a better informed general public by identifying that South Wales Police robustly investigate cases of misconduct. This fact alone may encourage individuals to provide intelligence in order to assist with investigations and promote public trust in providing transparency and demonstrating openness and accountability into where the police are currently focusing their investigations. Confirmation or denial that any information exists could provide reassurance to the general public. Factors against complying with Section 1(1)(a). Confirmation or denial that information is held in this case would suggest South Wales Police take their responsibility to appropriately handle and manage intelligence supplied to them flippantly. Under freedom of information, there is a requirement to comply with Section 1(1)(a) and confirm what information is held. In some cases, it is that confirmation or not which could disclose facts which would undermine the investigative process, and in such cases South Wales Police takes advantage of its ability under freedom of information legislation to, where appropriate, neither confirm nor deny that further information for request is or is not held. Section 40(5) Personal information. The duty to confirm or deny does not arise in relation to information which is, or if it were held by the public authority, would be exempt under Section 40 of the Act. Where either a request is made by an applicant requesting their own personal information or request for information relates to third parties, anybody other than the data subject, absolute exemptions exist, and as such there is no requirement for South Wales Police to carry out a public interest test. In accordance with this Act, this letter represents a refusal notice for your request. This should not be taken as confirmation that any information that would meet your request exists or does not exist. Now that's an awful lot of word salad for "we can't action your request at this time because Inspector Dean Gittoes is currently waiting his misconduct hearing. Please try again when proceedings are over." I mean, that took me all of about 8 seconds to say, and I would have been more than happy with that response, but they have to try and confuse people with the word salad of the highest order in order to try and put people off. Well, South Wales, I will be trying again once the misconduct hearing is over, as it certainly is in the public interest, and failure to provide next time will see a complaint lodged, and then if it is still refused I will then be contacting the ICO, and then if that fails too, then I will be contacting my legal connections to take the matter further. Anyway, I thought you, as subscribers of the channel, would be interested to know in what I was doing and what the current outcome of that is. Now, hit the subscribe if you want to find out what happens next, which will be obviously in a future video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, click the bell notification so you get notified of all my videos so you don't miss the next one.